Good morning, friends. This is the next lecture in the series of the subject compiler design, that is lecture number 7. Prerequisite is you should know the concept of Chomsky hierarchy series of grammar. Okay. And the objectives for today's lecture is formal grammars and their application to syntax analysis. Next one is BNF notation. Third one is YAG. Okay. This YAG, in previous lecture, we have discussed that YAG is a tool with the help of which you can generate the syntax analyzer. Okay. So up to some extent you can say that our lexical analysis phase has been over, and now we will proceed on to the syntax analysis phase, because in syntax analysis, as like of the lexical analysis, we have studied the regular expression and the finite automata for the lexical analysis, and for syntax analysis we will study the grammar, formal grammar and their application to syntax analysis. And second one is BNF notation. Third one is your YAG. YAG is what? The tool with the help of which you can devise the syntax analysis. First one is formal grammar. We will discuss the formal grammar is what? A grammar is a powerful tool for describing and analyzing language. It is a set of rules by which valid sentences in a language are constructed. Here is a trivial example of English grammar. Like first one is sentence. Sentence contains what? It consists of subject, verb phrase, then object. Subject is what? You can say that, like for example this, computers, I. Verb phrase is, it is adverb, verb or verb. Adverb is, for example, you can consider like never. Okay. Verb is run, am, tell, and object is the noun, a noun and noun. And noun is what? Like university. Okay. Like word, cheese, lies, these all are the nouns. So in this particular slides, what you have studied, formal language is what? Powerful tool for describing and analyzing language. Okay, we will discuss this in detail using the above rules or productions. Rules or productions is what? Like sentence derives, okay, like uh, adverb verb drives, like pronoun drives. So these all are the productions. This is the sentence, like this is a university. I have already told you sentence consists of, okay, this is a university. Computers run the word. I am the cheese. I never tell lies. Okay. So with the help of those productions that are given in previous slides, with the help of which you will or you should generate these sentences. Okay, here is a leftmost derivation of the first sentence. Use these productions. Next is grammar. As you all are aware about the Chomsky hierarchy series of grammar, in this particular lecture, we will study what the grammar is, how we can write the grammar, what are the components of grammar, and how grammar is useful for designing the syntax analysis, or how the grammar is useful for syntax analysis. In general, a grammar involves four quantities. You, you have also seen many times in theory of computation, like G equal to VTPS. In curly braces, you write V, comma T, comma P, comma S. What is V? You can say that that is variable or non-terminal. T stands for terminal, P stands for production rules or rewriting rules, and S stands for symbol table. Those are the four quantities, or you can say that four components that can constitute that is constituting the grammar. Okay, here is I have written the same thing: non-terminal, terminal, production rules. Production rule you can also call it as the rewriting rules, and start symbol. Okay, each production consists of a non-terminal followed by an arrow followed by a string of non-terminal and terminals. This is the syntax of your, that last line is the syntax of your production. First of all, you must have the non-terminal. Non-terminal is what? Like in previous productions, sentence is the non-terminal. Then followed by an arrow, and after that followed by a string of non-terminal and terminal. This is all about the grammar and the component of grammar. Now, Consider the grammar for arithmetic expression. Arithmetic expression is what? Where you can implement the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponential symbol. Here is in this production E drives E plus E, E star E, in within the bracket E minus E and ID. ID is for identifier. These all are the productions. How you can pronounce this E arrow E plus E? You can pronounce it as read as E drives minus E. Instead of minus E, you can write E drives E plus E, E drives E star E, E drives within the parenthesis E, E drives minus E and E drives ID. The symbol this arrow equal to and arrow means drive in one step. If for example you are having a terminal symbol ID, you can directly find E drives ID. So you can say that that particular symbol can be drive in one step. Okay. If there are more number of steps including 0, you will write like this equal to arrow and above the symbol you will put star, means drives in 0 or more step. If in place of star you can write plus, that means drives in one or more step. You all are familiar about this particular star symbol. Okay, star means any combination of including 0. Okay, the language generated by a CFG is the set of all the strings of terminals and produced from start symbol S using the production as substitution rules. Okay, language generated by CFG is what? Is the set of all the strings of terminals that are produced from the start symbol using the production as substitution rules. This is context-free grammar. Language generated by CFG is context-free language. CFG is what? Context-free grammar. CFL is what? Context-free language. The language generated by CFG is context-free language. Okay, for example, as drives small a capital S, as drives null. So what you can write the language for this particular string is language generated by the CFG is a star. Okay, some languages can have more than one CFG. Listen one thing, the tree diagram of a CFG are called as syntax tree. You may call it as the parse tree, generation tree, production tree or derivation tree. In your competitive examination, any of the term can be used for the parse tree. You just simply know till now syntax tree and parse tree. If there is the generation tree or derivation tree or production tree, that means the meaning of all those are same. Okay, tree diagram of your CFG, that you may call it as the syntax tree, parse tree, generation tree, production tree and derivation tree. Next is BNF notation. In CFG, that's all. Okay, now we proceed to BNF notation. BNF stands for Baker's norm form, or you may call it as a Baker's normal form. Both are same, Baker's norm or Baker's normal form. It is used to write a formal representation of a context-free grammar. You should know what is grammar that contains of VTPS. How we can write the grammar? There will be the in left side there will be a single non-terminal and in right side there will be the string of terminals or non-terminals. If you are talking about the grammar in corresponding to the context-free grammar. Okay, this is the syntax of the grammar. Now, what is this BNF? It is used to write a formal representation of a context-free grammar. It is nothing, just a formal representation of the CFG. It is also used to describe the syntax of programming language. Okay, BNF notation is basically just a variant of CFG or a context-free grammar. So you can say that what is BNF? I think only 1 or 2 marks question can be asked even in your university examination or in your competitive examination. You should know the full form of BNF. You should know what it particular BNF form will do. It is write a formal representation of your grammar, or you may call it as the variant of CFG or way of specifying programming language using formal grammars and production rules with a particular form of notation that is known as Baker's norm form. Next is YAC. We have just discussed the concept of YAC. What is YAC? First of all, you should know what is the full form of YAC. YAC stands for Yet Another Compiler. YACC. It provides a tool to produce a parser for a grammar. YAC is a program designed to compile a LALR1 grammar. We will discuss this LALR or LR grammar in detail in next unit. But here you should know YAC is a program designed to compile a, you can say that a grammar, or you can say that a LALR1 grammar. It is used to produce the source code of the syntactic analyzer of the language produced by LALR1 grammar. There will be a little confusion for you people for LALR1 grammar, because till now we didn't start, or I didn't tell you about this LALR grammar. Okay, LALR stands for look ahead, left to right grammar, but what it is, it will come in unit 2. We will discuss in detail this particular point in unit 2. Till now you just know what is YAC. Yet Another Compiler is a tool to produce a parser for a given grammar. Okay, next is YAC generates C code for syntax analyzer of parser. This particular point we have already discussed in previous lecture also. YAC uses grammar rules that allows it to analyze token from lex and create a syntax tree. YAC provides a general tool for describing the input to a computer program. Okay, this is about the YAC. YAC user specifies the structure of his input together with output, together with code to be invoked as each such structure is recognized. These all are the factual statements. Again, I am telling you, these all are the factual statements. You just read and cram these statements. Like YAC is writing a portable C. There is nothing to learn this concept. It is not a concept, it is just a factual thing. So all these factual things, you just read the slides, you just read the points and cram those points according to your wish. Okay, the class of specification accepted is a very general one, LALR grammar with disambiguous rule or disambiguating rules. YAC is a computer program for the Unix operating system. It is a look ahead left to right parser generator. In previous slide I was told you the full form of LALR grammar. LALR stands for look ahead left to right. Okay, parser generator generating the parse tree. Okay, how this YAC works, listen to me very carefully. This is as same as that of we have discussed in LAX source code. LAX language specifying for lexical analyzer. If you remember those things, then it is very easy to understand the concept of how does this YAC works. For example, listen, YAC source in LAX, what it was, LAX source. Here it is YAC source star.y. That means star.y. You will pass this source code into YAC compiler. This is what generate a new parser code for grammar. What you will give, what it will give the output, y.tap.h, y.tap.c, y.output. Anything it can be generated. Okay, we will just take this y.tap.c corresponding to the point that we have discussed in LAX. Just take this y.tap.c. It means this is the C file. You will take this C file and pass this C file into the C compiler. Output will be a.out. Okay, now this a.out will be the system through which you will pass to the input stream. Now this will not be the input tokens, this input text. This will be the token stream, because we are discussing over here the syntax analysis, and in syntax analysis our input will be the tokens. Okay, these tokens will be passed into this a.out and you will get the abstract syntax tree. Okay, this is all about how YAC works. If you know, if you understand the concept of language specifying for lexical analyzer or language generator, lexical analyzer generator or lex compiler, this is the same thing. How look like the lax work, the same this particular yak works. Okay. Next is lax with yak. Now in this particular slide, I am telling you about how the lax and how the yak will work. In lax source, we have already discussed, we have already studied all these concepts. Now we are going to discuss the execution of lax and yak parallelly. For example, this is lax. What it will be the output input? Lax source code or lax rules. We will feed those lax source and rules into the lax compiler. Output will be lax.yy.c. In this lax.yy.c, again you will pass this particular thing into the C compiler and you will get yy lax. And this yy lax will be what? This is the lexical analyzer in which you will pass the input, you will feed the input, and it will provide you the tokens. This is all about the lax source. And this is what? Yak source. Yak source means now you are talking about the yak tool. Yak tool, what it contains? It will contains the grammar rules or the production rules. And this is the yak source code. You will feed this yak source into the yak compiler. Likewise that of the lex compiler. Then output will be what? y.tab.c. This y.tab.c, again you will pass this y.tab.c into the C compiler and the output will be yy.parse as that of the yy.lex. Now this yy.parse will take the input stream or token stream. Okay, input stream is what? Token stream, and then generate the abstract syntax tree. Okay, this is all about the lax with yak. Now if you have remember, then I am telling you the one point that we have discussed in lecture number 1, very first lecture. I told you the two main important point. First point was what? First point was lexical analyzer act as an interface between the user and the source code and the whole compiler. Okay. And the second point is what? Lexical analyzer are the coroutine or subroutine for syntax analyzer. And that very first lecture I told you that this particular point I will tell you while we will discuss the syntax analysis. So now correlate that particular point within this slide. Point was what? Lexical analysis act as a coroutine or subroutine for syntax analysis. Now how you can say that it is a coroutine or subroutine for syntax analysis? Look at very carefully. Input stream, it will generate the tokens. Token will pass to the yy.parse. It will generate it the parse tree. While you are talking about the multipass compiler, in multipass compiler, this yy.lex or the stream of tokens or the lexical analysis act as a coroutine for syntax analysis because it will provide tokens to the syntax analysis. If for example it stops generating or providing the tokens, then yy.parse or you can say that syntax analysis can send the request to the lexical analyzer to pass the tokens again. So you can say that it will act as the coroutine or subroutine for syntax analysis. This is all about the lax with yak or the topics that we have discussed in this particular unit. Topic was formal languages specifying for syntax analysis. Second one was this BNF notation, and third one is your yak tool. This is all about. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, it's all from my side for this particular lecture. In next, these are the references. Multiple time I have already told you that you can use the book of Aho and Ullman, and you can do or you can solve the questions in the exercise that was given in the last of each chapter. Okay. If you wants to ask anything, please ask. Otherwise, thank you so much from my side. Thank you so much.